Today, I'm discussing how a bill becomes a law. So a bill can come in one of two ways. One, a constituent can write to the representative or the member of Senate or House of Representatives, but they can write to them like, hey, I think this needs to be discussed, you need to bring it up. And a member can eventually write something up and be like, okay, this is what is being told me, this is what's being recommended, let's see if we can turn this into a law given to us. So that member will become a primary sponsor of whatever bill that they decide to write down. What you do with that is almost like when you put a recommendation in a box at your work. They put that bill into a hopper, which is just a small wooden box, and eventually they will be gotten to, and the bill will be read off and sent to a committee. Now, the goal of the committee is to discuss and see if it's even worth being put into a law. They will adjust it, they'll get expert opinion, and they will make sure that everything is worded just the way it needs to be before it can be sent off for debate. So when it's sent off for debate, it is back into the House of Representatives. And they will talk it over, make sure everything looks right, and they will vote on it. You can vote one of three ways. You can vote verbally, which is just yay or nay. You can vote by saying, okay, those in favor stand, those not in favor stay sitting and count. Or you can do it the most common way, which is just writing down yes or no, it's counted at the end. Once the vote is done, let's say for the sake of argument that this is passed, next step is to go to the Senate. And what the Senate will end up doing is they will look over the bill once again, make sure that everything is in order, make any changes that they need, and they'll vote on it again. And most of the time the way they do it is just by people using their voices, so yay or nay, like we talked about a little while ago. And the bill will be sent back to the House in the event of it passing. And the House is to look over everything, but okay, let's make sure the Senate did what we needed, make sure they looked over anything that we may have missed. And the next step is for the bill to be enrolled. To enroll it is pretty much meaning it's put on paper, it is written out, and it is sent to the president. The president can then do one of three things. He can pass it, which just by signing it and dating it, and puts it into law. He can pocket veto, which means he just really doesn't do anything with it, and after 10 days it automatically goes into law. Or he can veto and say no. If he says no, it'll go back to Congress. And Congress just needs a 2/3 vote to overrule him, which means that even if the president says no, but the majority of Congress thinks, hey, this is good for all of us, it'll still go into law. And that right there is your crash course on how a bill becomes a law.